Validation transactions in Form Studio make data validation simple and concise. So let's build a simple confirm ship form using Form Studio. Here I have Visual Form Studio launched, and I have my database 100, and I'm presented with my list of projects that are available to me. In this case, I'm going to hit a new project here, my new project, and on the left navigation we have distribution, pop, and shop floor. These represent the three tabs you see at the top of Pocket ES. So under distribution, I'm going to choose to add a form, and I'm going to add a lookup and a text to start off with here. The lookup and the text field are different, only that the lookup has the button here at the end for looking up data. So I'm going to name this txt ordno, and this will be my order field, and this is my customer. And so for the order, I'm going to add a validation. So validation transaction under OE, ship validate order number. The order number is the input, and the return data will simply be the customer name back into the customer field. So let's save this, but first I want to add a name to this. So let's call this confirm ship, and this is going to be maybe this, just call it the shipping form. And let's go ahead and save it, and we'll simulate the form. So order 85, and there's our customer name there. So that's a quick little test. So now we want to capture the item number. So we'll do a lookup for the item, and we're going to bring back a couple of pieces of data about the item as well. So here is item, and this one will be the item description. And we also want to bring back the unit measure. And lastly, the quantity remaining. And we're going to make that a numeric field. So in the item, let's go add action and add a validation tricks under OE ship validate order item. So it needs the order number and the item, and we have a bunch of fields to return here. So let's return the item description, the quantity remaining, and the unit of measure. Now we have some other fields here that I think are very important. The location and line are required for us to be able to do a business transaction. So I want to add some variables to put these into. So I'm going to put the location and the line. But I also want to capture the bin flag and the serial flag. I may not necessarily use that either one of these in this form, but they're pretty important for hiding certain fields. So if you want to put the bin field and the lot field on there, and maybe hide the lot field or the bin field depending on the flags, you can do that here. So the bin flag, we'll put that into the bin flag here. The serial lot code, we'll put it into the serial lot flag. We have a location and the line. So again, let's save and test it. So 85. And there's our description, unit, measure, and the remaining. And if we scroll down here on the right, we have some debugging values. So under variables, we see our location, the line, the bin flag, and the serial lot flag. So if we come down to the bottom here, I'm going to add an empty space, and I'm going to add the bin field and a quantity field. So this will be bin, and this will be our quantity field. And I want to enable the quantity field. Text fields by nature are typically disabled for validation and return data into. It can also be used for things like quantity fields, where you just want to enter a piece of information without looking any of the data up. We also need to make this numeric, since it is going to be our quantity field. And so for the bin field, I want to add another validation. And validate bin number. So we have a lot more fields that go into this one. The order number, the line number, item, the location, and the actual bin that we fill into the field. And we're going to return back the bin quantity. And I want to create a variable to put that into. We'll call that bin quantity. And there's our bin quantity. Okay. And so now we'll have the bin quantity field. Let's add now our button. And we'll call this our save button here. And this will be a business transaction, which is confirmed shipping. And so we need the item number, the line, location, the order number, pretty important, quantity field, and lastly, let's give this user ID so we know who actually did the confirmed shipping on the form. And so we need a bin number. Oops. Bin. You want a quantity. Now if you're doing Serolot, if you captured Serolot on the form, you could do that here and put it into the Serolot properties. But we're just sticking to bin to keep it simple here. And then when we're done, we also want to clear the form back to the item. This is convenient because if you have maybe 10, 20 items on the order, it'll ask you for the next item, and you keep scanning the items as you go. So let's save that. Oops. And the order is 85. And just to show you here the validation, if I put in an incorrect number, it's going to validate the item. All these validation transactions will validate and look at all the rules for Macola. So if we put in WEX1750 and bin 1254 and remaining is 100, but we're going to put in quantity of 50. Now nothing happened because there's no default button saved, so I have to click save here. And there we go, we cleared back up to the item field. And so it tells us there's a remaining 50. So let's make that save button defaulted. So if we go to default button and choose BT save, the default execution will be on last item. So when I hit enter on that quantity field, it should immediately save the order. So WEX1750, remaining is 50, and we'll type in 50 and hit enter, and then we got saved. So hope you learned something. Appreciate you watching. Stay tuned.